Hi, this is Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm on live, baby, because this is 2025, and hey, we made it. Let's acknowledge those that were our family and friends that didn't make it. So we're blessed to be here because, as we know, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. But today is a special day because just yesterday, December the 31st, I finally earned 10,000 subscribers that watches me. 10,000. And also I'm going to cover that, but also I'm going to cover it's the end of amateur sports in colleges. Now, a lot of you don't even know what that is. Amateur in sports, I'm going to talk about that a little later. But before we get started, let's acknowledge something. Let's acknowledge those of importance, such as former President Jimmy Carter. He only served one term, but boy, you talking about what a heck of a man. He was a good man. He was a man that we saw teach Sunday school, was married for 77 years. And boy, you talking about such a good guy. He, what was it, built something like 2, 3, 5,000, something like that, Habitat of Humanity homes, and lived to be 100 years old, the longest president to ever live that long. And also to acknowledge Greg Gumbel, the sportscaster, especially when it came around to March Madness. Greg was always him and Clark Kellogg and some other guys about March Madness, but he was involved in all aspects of sports. The first time I came across Greg Gumbel was his brother, Brian Gumbel. He had all these sports channels, including he was an anchor on CBS Morning Show at one time. But those are people among so many other greats and celebrities that have gone home that we will miss. But as we know, life goes on. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about my success in achieving 10,000 subscribers. And we're going to also, I'm going to talk about the avenue of sports. Based on what's going on in the world today, is there concern about sports declining? Well, we're going to talk about that too. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Here's a little information I'm going to share with you that comes from indi.com. That's INDIY.com. And it says 91.1% of channels, we're talking about YouTube channels, have under 1,000 subscribers. Think about that. 91% of the people, of all these content creators that's on YouTube, only we're talking about 9, 8 point whatever percent actually achieve 1,000 subscribers. But a lot of people don't realize that. It's a tough type business to be in. Now, how I got involved, I had a stellar career. I'm a former college basketball player with honors. Also, I'm a former police officer, a municipal police officer, and from there I became a state district court juvenile officer and commissioned deputy sheriff. Followed from there, I was a juvenile justice specialist for 25 years in the state of Oklahoma, basically juvenile probation and parole. And the last 9 of those 25 years, I was a supervisor of 5 counties. That's right, 5 counties, and I supervised them all at the same time. But seeing kids come my way, giving people hope and trying to protect the public and all of that, it was a stellar career. I enjoyed every minute of it. But now I'm a content creator. So how did I get involved in that? It was not my intention to be a content creator. It came by accident. And the thing is, COVID hit. So of course, everybody was at home. I retired, had plans to do public speaking, and all of a sudden COVID hit. And it paused everything for everybody. You guys remember when we were all at home? You remember when church attendance and everything declined and churches closed their doors because, we were all masking and, the distancing and all of that stuff. And that's how I got involved with YouTube, because I had a video that I had recorded of my retirement, which was stellar, by the way. There were hundreds of people there. And I wanted to share that with some people, and a good friend of mine told me, hey, make a YouTube video, and that's how you can send it, because, any other way, the file was too large. So that's what I did. And that was my initiation learning about YouTube, because then something came across the feed that told me about how to build a YouTube business. And then I got enrolled in these classes online to learn all this stuff. I didn't know how to do any of this. I didn't know how to edit or anything. But now I think I'm pretty good at it. But on this live feed, I'm trying to figure this out to try to, how do I present other things on the screen and so forth. But I'll get there. But listen to this, and this comes from Indy.com. It says right here that YouTube has 2.6 billion monthly active users. That is about 1 in 3 people from the entire Earth's population of 7.9 billion people, making YouTube the largest video sharing site and streaming video platform worldwide. And it says here, what percentage of YouTube channels have 1,000 subscribers? Listen to this. As successful YouTubers have one thing in common. They all started with less than 1,000 subscribers. The exact percentage of YouTube's channels with over 1,000 subscribers is 8.86%. And as that number grows, more and more subscribers, it gets even smaller. And yesterday, I hit 10,000 subscribers. And you know, the key is not giving up. I've been doing this now for 4.5 years, baby. How many of you would create 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos? Hey, this is too tough, and you quit. See, that's the key to success. When you have a plan and you stick with that plan against no matter what you encounter over time, that's when you win. Think about this. You guys remember when we were working on our drills and how to get better, you know, throwing the football, the techniques, the mechanics, how to shoot a basketball and all of that? It didn't happen right away, did it? I remember being called super duper sorry so many times. I did quit football in junior high, and I almost quit basketball. But you can imagine I'm 6 feet 6 inches tall in height, and the coaches saw something in me, so they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and gave me hope, gave me 2 books on the read, proper techniques of shooting and all of that. And then my junior year, as I was starting on the high school varsity basketball team, I was the highest percentage shooter on the team. See, I know something about success. And I have something to offer. Just as those kids who got arrested for a crime, who was beyond the parents' control and therefore needed supervision, came into my office along the way. And I did my assessment and everything. Then, of course, gave them hope and belief that they too can achieve something. They can be somebody, that they didn't have to be a loser. They didn't have to look down the road for a potential life of crime or ending up in the penitentiary. Some did, some didn't. Some went on to have professional careers. And the thing about it is, you know, when we do well in life, we want to come back and tell somebody. We want them to see that success, don't we? And I saw a lot of it. And when I saw them, even I may have to lock them up at one time as a kid, I was still happy to see them because they knew what I did for their good. But reaching 10,000 subscribers, hey, I give myself a pat on the back because I didn't quit. So no matter what you decide to do in your life, no matter what you pursue, that's it. You get the knowledge, you get the education, you learn how to do things, then you work on them and you don't quit, because in due time, you won't be the same person that you were when you started. I consider myself a great editor, and editing in this type of business is hard. I went through a lot of different editing software until I found that one that was best for me. And that was Filmora by Wondershare. That's what I use. And when I watch TV now, when I watch movies and television shows, I look at it with different eyes, because I say to myself, hey, I can do that. Really? It's like that now. Before, I never ever given that any thought. But now, the skills that I have acquired, I can do things I even never thought of. But getting back, I'm excited. And if you're happy for me, come on, give me a thumbs up. Let me know, please, that, hey, you're happy for me. And just a regular thumbs up would do it. And that just keeps me pushing, keeps me going. That's that encouragement, that motivation that I get. When someone watch one of my videos, compliment, share it, or just give me a thumbs up. That keeps me going. Now, 4.5 years later, I finally got 10,000. But keep in mind, most people never even get 1,000. 91% of people never reach 1,000 subscribers. And for those that maybe have 1 million subscribers, that's even less than half of 1%. So a lot of these things you don't know. And so that's why I'm telling you these things, because we see other people do. We see other people going viral, but don't realize the work it took. But then again, there's some luck involved too, because you have a lot of people that may go viral off one video and you never see them again. But I like to try to make content that remains, that you can go back on and pick up and maybe learn something from, to give you that hope, that encouragement that you too can do something, or maybe just give you a little peace of mind. But also, I'm going to talk here about the end of amateur sports in college. Did you know college athletes were considered amateurs? Did you know that? And well, you do now. But as of 2025, there's been some court rulings involving billions. I think it's about $2.8 billion that are going to go to these athletes that play college sports. Mainly, I would say NCAA Division I, because they've got the most money. Okay. And I think that's why Nick Saban got out of college football, because of all these, the money now all the money that's involved, because college football, make billions of dollars. And for years, like myself, going to college, hey, yeah, I'm on a scholarship. Yeah, I'm getting all my meals and tuition and everything, room and board taken care of. But still, sometimes we were hungry. We had no money. Depends on where I came from. And I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, okay? And I just tell you, I grew up in public housing. A mother who was working 2 jobs and had 5 kids. That was me. That's where I come from. But we endured. And that's one thing I learned from my mom, was hard work. No one has to be poor. You can get jobs. And if you have to work more than one, you can do that too. But the amateur sports world, as of this year, college athletes would no longer be called amateur because of the money. And they're making money, guys, because of their, what is it called? Their name, image, and likeness. And that's how they're making money. And there are some guys that's making millions of dollars. Now, if they entered the NFL draft, we're talking football right now. If they enter the NFL draft, because they have that rookie contract, they would make as much money for some of them that they're making right now. Actually, right now, Florida State's got an issue going on involving their head coach, Leonard Hamilton, in which they had recruited some guys to pay them $250,000 to play. Now, I'm not certain if it was just for a season or 2 seasons. And now there's a potential lawsuit that's going on because they were not paid. I don't know if the boosters were supposed to pay them or what, but there's a thing going on right now in Florida State involving some basketball players with Leonard Hamilton, who's the head coach. Look it up. It's all out there. All the money that's being made. Millions, such as Deion Sanders' son, who's the quarterback for Colorado. He's one of the top earners as well. But the thing is, sports has changed, and I think there has to be something has to change, because it can't go the way it's going right now. You got players bouncing around all over the place. Used to be, during my time, if you transfer to another college, you're going to have to sit out maybe a semester before you can become eligible to play for that other university. But now they bounce around every year. Look at University of Oregon right now. Their quarterback, that used to be University of Oklahoma's quarterback. And then he left, went to Oregon, and right now they're playing in the college playoffs. And I think they're still ranked number 1 in the nation, University of Oregon. And I'm going to talk also a little bit more about the declining of sports in 2025, mainly due to politics. Now, Today, January 1, 2025, in the early morning hours, about 3 o'clock a.m., there was a person that plowed through in a car, vehicle, a truck, or whatever some type, down on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, Louisiana. The last count was 15 people were dead and about 35 injured. And they're considering this to be a terrorist attack with I just say it's just horrible, horrible. And that's a sad thing. And that's what makes me think about the decline of sports in 2025. There's so much going on. Our incoming president, boy, not making things better. And as far as with the threats that's being made. Now, I'm an independent, so I'm not one side or the other. I'm just going to tell you what I see and what I think and give my projection of things. He's threatened Panama, talking about taking back the Panama Canal. He said some choice words to the president of Mexico, and she's responded. Not just that, Panama's president's responding. Saw this morning on the news where you had a massive protest down there in Panama on the streets in which they started burning the American flag and burning up pictures of, our incoming president, Donald Trump. And then a lot of you know this as well as threatening Canada. Think about this. Our closest neighbors, who's always been our allies, Canada, Mexico. Why we want to throw stuff in like that about maybe, Canada becoming the 51st state and then, putting down the prime minister as being a governor. Then not just that, thinking about Greenland, talking about taking Greenland from, Denmark. Guys, we've got so much stuff going on right now and not just that, talking about, pulling the United States out of NATO, our allies. That's been keeping world order. So the question is, are we going to see more and more of these type of attacks upon us? Could it affect the attendance of our coliseums, our stadiums, our gymnasiums, where there is mass gatherings? Make me think about New Orleans today. And things are just getting started. This is day one of 2025. And right now, and you can look it all up, it's all on the news, where these countries, Panama, they're increasing their military. You've got Canada, they're doing the same thing. You've got Greenland, they're recruiting more and more for their military. And not just that, NATO itself, our longtime allies, are also beefing up things because of the threats our incoming president has been making to them and everybody. And they're concerned now, will they have to protect themselves from us? Guys, this is real. I'm not playing politics here. I live here in this country. I love this country, and I know you do too. There's no other country like the United States of America. It used to be a place where everybody wants to come. But we got to be careful on the things we say. Come on now, think about this. I was a supervisor. I supervised 5 counties. I'm dealing with, all sorts of lawyers, every branch of law enforcement. I'm dealing with judges, district attorneys, everybody. And we have to be careful of the things we say because we know the outcome, what it could be. Let's not fire up people like in Panama. Turn on the news. You'll see it. Look it up. They're burning Americans' flags. And they're beefing up and saying all these horrible words, because you can understand they got to stand up. They got to protect their own country. And the only person seems that we're not threatening is China and Russia. Now I know you probably thinking, hey, you're a black guy, you're you're far left. No, I'm not. I'm independent. And that's my choice. I don't want to be holding to no party. I'm going to look at the facts and then I'll determine from there what direction I go. And I think we all should be that way, really. I think it's going to get to a point in time it's going to be like that, but maybe not in my lifetime. So there's a concern that due to politics, it may end up decreasing attendance in our events. Let's hope not. I would suggest, by all means, keep working with those kids. Keep teaching them the basics, the fundamentals. Attend, go, support our team, support our children. Because we can't let evil win. But then again, we can't be evil ourselves. We need all the help we can get. What if we break away from Ukraine? No, NATO, and we don't support Ukraine. Then what? Russia just going to power take them over? Not just that. What is it going to do? If we become so independent ourselves, and we have no allies, you can see Taiwan being taken over with no problem. We can't isolate ourselves, guys. We need the help of our allies always for our protection, our security information, and the stabilization of peace around the world. So that's how I feel about that. That's as far as how I feel about what could possibly cause a decline because it ignited today in New Orleans. And I'm born and raised in Louisiana. But I'm an Oklahoma guy now. I've been here all my life as an adult. So, being live, telling you about my excitement. Yeah, I got to get back excited. Something about just politics just bring out the worst in us, don't it? It just make you feel bad. You want to argue with people. You lose friends. And I've seen that. I've actually seen that. And over politics, family. So we need to heal, don't we? So what's the best thing that can heal us? Music and sports. There's nothing like, hey, man, come on, let's go to this game today. We don't talk politics. The moment we're rah-rahing for our team, win or lose. And by the way, boy, did you see that game a while ago before I just came on air involving Texas and Arizona State? Wow. I just knew Texas had lost the ball game. Actually, they had missed 2 field goals just minutes in the fourth quarter to really sew up the game. And that, boy, I felt so bad for that kicker because he missed 2 field goals. Wow. And then Arizona got the ball. And that running back they got, I forgot his name. What was it, number 4? That guy is tough. He was boasting and he was bragging. He's like, nobody can take me down. And boy, he showed it today too. High yardage, passing the ball. This guy was incredible. And I know his stock just went up too in the NFL because he was like a one-man show. But that guy was serious. He was tough. But Texas pulled it out in double overtime. Double overtime. Just when Arizona had the ball and they scored, and then, of course, in college rules, the opponent, they also get an opportunity to go take it down the field to try and score. And Texas, what was it like? 3rd or 4th and something? 4th and 15, I believe it was. And then saw his man wide open in the end zone and hit him. And then they went for the extra point, tied it up. And then Texas got the ball, the first possession of the second overtime. And boy, boom, that pass right down the field, touchdown. Then the pressure, of course, was on. And then they had to go for 2 points. If the double overtime, 2 points. And Texas got the 2 points. Now Arizona has the ball. And the outcome was not as favorable this time. But they had the momentum early on because at the beginning of the game, you thought Texas was just going to blow them out. But then Arizona State came back and they almost pulled it off. It was exciting. You know, the thing about sports, when we think about the emotions, just like watching that Texas and Arizona game, when Arizona went ahead, boy, they showed the fans the emotions was just off the charts. And then Texas with their head bowed like it was over. But then when they produced and scored, and then all of a sudden when they went up, everything swung the opposite way. Texas fan was raw cheering on, and Arizona, they can see it was over. And we as fans watching the college playoff games, and the winner would go to the semifinals. And there we were too, feeling the emotions up and down, the roller coaster ride. But boy, that's the beauty of sports, isn't it? That's the beauty of watching, our teams. My wife was screaming and enjoying it too. And I'm married to a sports girl. So I'm excited because, like I said, I've reached 10,000 subscribers as of yesterday, December 31st. And I'm excited about that. And it wasn't easy. But of course, I didn't quit. And I kept producing good quality material. And I must say, I think the bulk of my subscribers came from YouTube Shorts. It's kind of like Reels, 60 seconds and so forth. And that's where I found most of my success. But my long form content is really good. And I would highly encourage you, if you hadn't watched any of my long form content, please do so. I'm a storyteller. I tell life stories. People say that I have wisdom. But if you've lived any length of time, if you cross that board, that number of 60 and above, you got a lot of wisdom, because we know the do's and the don'ts. We can tell people. We know the behaviors of people based on certain ages. That's wisdom, whether you want to hear it or not. But if you take that to heart, whatever that person tells you, your family member, your grandmother, your granddaddy, listen to them. Because you look at them as they are now, not realizing they were like you at one time, young, and the same behaviors. Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Talk, come on, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you appreciate what I'm doing, because that's my motivation, baby. Just send a comment, a subscribe, or even a thumbs up. That keeps me going. An old guy like me who retired, didn't know how to do any of this, and by the way, it took me a while to find my niche. Those categories, they always tell you niche down. And it took me forever, because I'm telling stories, then I'll veer off and I'll go over here and I'll talk about this, I'll talk about that. And speaking of this, I have a new channel also called Merch Matcher, MERCH, Matcher. MATCHER. Check it out. And if you're on YouTube, just type in @Merch Matcher and it'll take you straight to my channel. And what I do there is I am a Amazon associate, and I earn commissions off things that I talk about, their products. And if you like to learn more about those products, all you have to do is click on the links that I provide below, and it'll take you straight to Amazon about that particular product that I'm talking about. But I'm working on right now to get my storefront through Amazon, so that way I can just have my store and put all the stuff out there. And for those of you that may be interested, want to look into it, and maybe if something of interest for you, or just want to know more about it, you can do so. Remember, Merch Matcher. But I want to thank all of you for taking this moment to come with me, listen to me, and my concerns about NATO, my concerns about sports attendance, my concern about terrorists. But my main theme is about sports. I'm a sports enthusiast. I played sports. I was on scholarships to play college sports, as well as holding a record in track and field in college. I was a triple jumper. I went to state in a triple jump, and I was a high jumper in high school. And I hold my high school record in the high jump. Well, I held, I'm sure it's been broken now, because people continue to evolve and get better. So I'm happy to spend this moment with you. And this is live. This is not a recording. Now, of course, I want you to know when I'm done this live event, it will then it will be in my studio, not in my studio. It'll be part of my channel where you can go in and watch this recording as often as you like. It will be posted. And I will also maybe add a link or so to some of the things that you can look if you want to discover more about what's going on in the world, and where do we go from here. But just remember, sports has healing powers. Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.